New photographic evidence of Mandela Effect. Is reality changing? Rob Shelsky, author. Welcome to my latest video. If you like what you see, or even if you don't, please let me know below and leave any comments you wish and/or subscribe to my channel. This video contains what I believe to be new information and evidence for the Mandela Effect. I'm currently doing in-depth research for my new book on the Mandela Effect. This has involved hours and hours of poring over various maps of the Earth from different time periods, as well as looking for the same in TV shows, movies, etc. What I have discovered recently, and I've seen this nowhere else, so I'm fairly certain I'm the first, is that yet another film series shows incredible oddities with regard to locations of land masses on our Earth, land masses that just aren't there now. These new images, I am convinced, are the result of the ongoing Mandela Effect. But first, just what is the Mandela Effect? The Mandela Effect is becoming more prominent as time goes by, with many citing an incredible number of instances of the phenomenon. In case you haven't yet heard about this weird new oddity, it is the very real-seeming bizarre occurrences of people remembering things differently from how they actually happened, and often in great numbers, sometimes hundreds of thousands or even millions of people over a single issue. Wikipedia describes it as false memories. To quote Wikipedia directly, in 2010, this phenomenon of collective false memory was dubbed the Mandela Effect by self-described paranormal consultant Fiona Broome in reference to a false memory she reports of the death of South African leader Nelson Mandela in the 1980s, when in fact Mandela died in 2013, which she claims is shared by perhaps thousands of other people. Broome has speculated about alternate realities as an explanation. However, little concrete proof, other than just how people remember it differently, is seldom offered for the Mandela effect's existence. Yet other examples, more concrete ones, do exist. Even so, the evidence for the Mandela effect so far mostly seems to be that people remember things differently than they now actually seem to have occurred. Moreover, when people with these differing memories of events get it wrong, the intriguing part is that most of them get it wrong the same way. This presents a conundrum because people can have faulty memories and so remember things differently from how they may have actually happened. This is just natural. However, when people in their hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands all get it wrong, but wrong in the same way, then something seems truly odd, out of place. Furthermore, the images I've come across are not from the now famous Dazed and Confused movie images of the globe in the classroom showing a large island just to the west of Australia that shouldn't be there. Neither am I referring to the other picture from the second season of Friends showing a smaller island off the southwest coast of Australia that isn't there now either. By the way, the Friends episode has a rather blurry picture, one better seen in motion by viewing the actual episode. However, also with regard to the Friends episode, the continent of Antarctica looks decidedly odd as well, compared to the one we have today. So, it is worth taking a look at. In this picture from the Friends episode showing an island off the southwest coast of Australia, you can clearly see there is an island there, although not as large as the one in Dazed and Confused, nor is it as far west. It also looks as if Antarctica has something weird going on with it as well. In the Dazed and Confused movie, there is an image showing the large landmass just to the west of Australia. Again, it is much larger than the one depicted in the episode of Friends. There is even a sort of strait at the southern and eastern tip of the island, bisecting the lowest section of it. Definitely not a key, logo, or legend, not judging by the very irregular shape of the landmass. Another oddity about the land masses I'm showing you is they are often divided or have slightly separated portions, divided by a strait or river bisecting them. Look closely at the images. The one of the large landmass in the Pacific, the islands off the west of Australia, both seem to have these straits running more or less horizontally across them. In other words, they are actually more than one landmass. I mention this because of another legendary disappeared island, Hy-Brasil. This legendary landmass was supposedly off the coast of Western Ireland, and it, too, had the same general shape as these other landmasses and was described as having a strait or river bisecting it. Reported by many ships' captains and crews as being there, Hy-Brasil does not now exist, if ever. Again, these images I'm showing you are new discoveries as far as I can reasonably ascertain. I came across the following series of images of a globe in an old I Dream of Jeannie episode, the 4th season. They show strange anomalies, and these, as with other images from other shows, depict landmasses where there shouldn't be any, particularly near Australia, but also in the Central Pacific region, as well as near the southern tip of South America. Again, these images differ some in location and size from those in the Dazed and Confused movie, as well as the Friends episode. Why this is possibly so, I will discuss at the end of this video. By the way, I have carefully ruled out any items that even remotely look like keys, legend, or logos on the globe. The images I do show appear to be of actual landmasses that do not exist, at least not in our current timeline. The question, of course, is, did they ever? Check this out. Notice the large landmass in the middle of the Pacific, or actually rather closer to South America. That is North America. You can see on the top right of the globe. Central America is just below it, and you can barely make out the northern tip of South America. In the picture just shown, if you look between the two actors, you will see the globe sitting on a shelf. If you look carefully, you will see what clearly seems to be a large island or landmass in the middle of the Pacific, just to the west of the northern area of South America and lower portion of Central America, as mentioned in the prior slide. There appears to be two landmasses there, a bigger one and to the west of it a smaller one, the two islands divided by what appears to be a narrow strait. I have used every means at my disposal to enlarge and resolve this image. It definitely does not appear to be a logo, key, or legend of any sort. There is a reflection or glow spot to the west or left of the island, which is no doubt due to lighting conditions while filming. Ignore that. Now, let's look at it again. That definitely is a strange landmass in the Pacific, and it is not Hawaii, being far too large for those small islands in any case. Hawaii is much further west. Did you notice the strait in the southwestern area of the main landmass, dividing it from the much smaller one below it? Now, the next image is a current map of the Pacific Ocean area as we know it now. Please notice Hawaii is barely discernible, being so small in size as islands, and certainly nowhere nearly comparable in size to the huge landmass as shown in the prior image. Look at where the green arrow is pointing. That is the approximate location of the larger land masses as depicted in the prior slide. Not there now. Notice also that Hawaii is much further north and west of that point and is a much smaller series of islands and a completely different configuration of them. There is more. Another landmass that shouldn't be there is a very large island off the southwest tip of South America. This island does not exist as far as our current timeline is concerned. Note that this is a genuine depiction of a strange landmass, complete with mountainous terrain. Again, this island does not exist in our timeline. The southern portion of South America and all of Antarctica are clearly shown, so there is no mistaking where this island is located. Definitely not a key, logo, or legend. Look at the extremely irregular shape, the topography, and the mountainous terrain, etc. There is even what appears to be a small harbor at the southwest tip of the island. Again, these land masses are not to be confused with keys, logos, or legends. In fact, on this particular globe, those show up very well as what they are. Please note in the next image just how clear and obvious they are. They cannot be confused with land masses since they have pictures of ancient sailing vessels in them. Please note. Just south of Greenland, you see a key or logo with a sailing ship. Just north of South America, another one. And just off the western coast of Africa is yet another one. Clearly, these are not land masses and should not be confused with them. In the next slide, we see what appears to be a decent-sized island well to the west of Australia. Now, this island is in a different location than the one depicted in Dazed and Confused, and the same holds true with regard to the Friends episode island. Again, that one being further west and a little more northerly. However, there is no island there either. The next island comparable in size or larger and which is west of Australia is Madagascar, and that is not Madagascar. That lies right off the coast of Africa. Here you see a bisected island or landmass with what appears to be a strait between the two sections. This is well to the west of Australia, but again, very east of Africa. The island image appears in different pictures of the globe and always has the same shape. One has to assume it is really there and not just a reflection or glow spot. If you look to the east of Australia, you will see what is a glow spot, and of course it does not look anything like the landmass. Again, the landmass is pictured here, and there is clearly a long inlet or a strait running through the island, making it twin islands, in fact. Conclusion. What can we make of all this, of land masses on globes from other decades that now don't exist, and it is as if they never did? Well, we can try to eliminate the obvious. First, some would say the globes weren't real ones, but ones designed just for the shows. This definitely does not appear to be the case. The globes are not important other than as mere background props. My research, as far as I could discern, shows they were just normal globes used as standard props in such a way. Nothing strange was done to them. Furthermore, one would have to ask why. Why, as in the movie Dazed and Confused, would they bother to alter a real school globe by placing just one extra landmass on it? It makes no sense, no logic. Moreover, why would so many different TV shows, separated by decades sometimes, decide to do this, deliberately alter a background globe that is nothing more than a minor prop? For what possible reason? One also has to note that if this was done, it was done very professionally. But again, what purpose would there be? It would be costly and seemingly pointless. School globes are not cheap, some costing at the time hundreds of dollars. So why alter one for no reason for a low-budget television show? It just doesn't make sense. One also might consider the globes had errors on them, errors made by the manufacturers. Well, has anyone ever found a school globe or bought one for home use with such glaring errors on it? I haven't. Besides which, the globes are different, so either a lot of different manufacturers are making very huge mistakes on their expensive globes, or something else is going on here. Another weird item is that in the movie Dazed and Confused, as well as the TV series I Dream of Jeannie and the show Friends, all have the same oddity of a landmass or island appearing just west or southwest of Australia. Why? Why would this be? They all differ in size and shape, these islands, as if there was no one version of it, but they all have it. Again, why? Was there once something there that is now gone in our present time? Or did the globe manufacturers all make the same sorts of mistakes repeatedly for the same region of the world, but simply did it with different sizes and shapes of islands? That hardly seems likely, though, does it? No, whatever is going on seems to have no normal logical explanation. That these globes all show land masses and all showing ones near Australia as well are real is a certainty. To have altered them to do this seems absurd, since it would serve no rational function or purpose for the show, except to waste the prop personnel's time on a totally useless and pointless task. So some other explanation must be found. Besides this, the large land mass in the Pacific and the large island off the coast of the southern tip of South America are also extremely odd. Why are they there and in such detail? Are we possibly witnessing things from another timeline, or has ours become altered in such a way as to make these places vanish? Is the explanation the fact we are glimpsing something from alternate timelines? Are different alternate realities crossing over, merging briefly only to separate again, but somehow leaving their mark in the form of altered maps and globes in our timeline? Or is our reality constantly altering? Were there really once islands and land masses in these places that have disappeared? If so, what happened to them? And why? More importantly, what happened to all the people that inhabited them? They must have had friends and relatives in other places around the world, but now we or they don't remember the inhabitants of these vanished landmasses. Not at all. In other words, was not only the landmass made somehow to disappear and the people with it, but even our very memory of them ever having existed at all? There is even a worse possibility, and that is our reality is never the same from one moment to the next, that we just think it was always that way in any given instant. If that's so, then reality, as we think of it, might not exist at all. Another possibility is someone is tinkering with our reality. Could we be living in a simulation as some physicists think? Right now, they say the odds are about 35% we are living in such a simulation, and some scientists expect that percentage to go up as we find more evidence for it being so. What is the purpose of the tinkering? Are we just a game where they keep adjusting the landscape and/or pieces, meaning us, to their own advantage? Are we just characters to be moved around, removed at will? Regardless, something extraordinary seems to be going on, and whatever it is, the implications for us, our lives, our loved ones, would appear to be huge indeed. I will say this, considering the evidence that is mounting in regard to the Mandela effect, something momentous does seem to be at work here, and whatever it is something we don't or can't seem to control at all. It could be anything from the gods, whatever they might really be, playing or gaming with us, to CERN or quantum computers causing reality shifts to occur. The sad part is that when they do occur, we have little or no memory not only of the shift, but of anyone we might lose in the process, because it will be as if they never existed for us at all, no matter how much we loved or cared for them prior to the change. Food for thought. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it added to your knowledge of the Mandela effect. Thanks for watching. Please click on like or not below and or leave a comment. Thank you.